Hey everybody, welcome in. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a custom title block and border for Inventor. So to do that, I'm going to go up to New, and I'm going to go into the drawing section here where you see standard.dwg. I'm going to select that. I'm going to hit the Create button. We'll wait for it to open up. So this is kind of like the typical starter title block and border that Inventor gives you, but we're going to design our own. So to do that, I'm going to go up to where you see Sheet 1. I'm going to right click on that thing. Boom. Where you see Edit Sheet, I'm going to click on Edit Sheet. And then I'm going to change it from the size from D to, let's do a B size sheet. And I'm going to leave everything else like it is. So if you wanted to change the orientation to either landscape or portrait, you would select those. And then the orientation here, these select where you want your title block to be located. So right now it's in the bottom right corner. You could change it over to the left side. You could go up to top left, top right, whatever you want. But I'm going to leave mine here down here at the bottom right. I hit OK. And so now you can see it kind of change the size of our sheet. And then I'm going to delete the border and the title block here so that we can create our own. So I'm going to right click on default border, hit on delete, right click the ANSI large, click on delete. So now we're left just with our blank 11 by 17 sheet of paper here. So under drawing resources, I'm going to click on the plus symbol next to it. Under borders, I'm going to click on the plus symbol next to it. And then where you see default border, I'm going to right click. I'm going to click on insert drawing border here. So here is our default drawing border parameters. I'm going to change my horizontal zones to 6. And then my vertical zones, I'm going to change that to 4. I'm going to leave those two. I'm going to expand this box by clicking on the 2 arrows here. And then down at the bottom is you see our sheet margins. I'm going to change these to 0.5 or 1/2 inch for each one of these. Just make them all the same all the way around. Just for this example. And then I'm going to leave everything else like it is. I'm going to press OK. And so there is our border, 1/2 inch all the way around. We have our 6 horizontal zones, our 4 vertical zones there. And then we're gonna design our title block. So to do that, where you see title blocks here, I'm going to right click it. I'm going to click on define new title block. And it's going to put us in sketch mode. So we're just going to sketch out our custom title block. So to do that, I'm going to just draw a rectangle here. 2 point. Just going to, for the bottom dimension, I'm going to make this 9 inches. Tab, press 2. I'm going to click 2 inches for the right side or the height. Hit tab again, press enter. And then I'm going to divide this into 3 kind of equal sections, horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to use the line tool here. Just going to draw just a random vertical line. Put another one here. Make sure it's straight. I'll draw another line, horizontal, straight across. Why does it do that? I don't want a little smidgen. I just want a straight line from here over. And then another one from here over. Like so. And then I'm going to dimension these. So to make sure these are all equal, if For the dimension, instead of giving a number here, let me move this box out the way. I'm gonna click this dimension here, and then I'm gonna go divide by 3. And then I'm gonna dimension these 2 lines. I want this dimension to be the same as this. So instead of giving it a dimension there, I'm just gonna click this dimension to where it's gonna just copy that one. And those are gonna be the same. Just gonna kind of do the same thing for these here. So this dimension, I want it to be this one divided by 3. Move this up a little bit. Dimension here to here. And that one's gonna be, I'm gonna click this one. So those are the same. Just kind of even these up a little bit. All right, so then what I want to do is I'm going to trim this top line. I don't want that. Trim this one out. Leave those like they are. I'm going to add another line from here down. I'm going to come back and even these out. So here straight down. And then I'm going to dimension this from here to here. So this is going to be, it's going to be this divided by 2. That way these 2 are equal spacing. And the same thing for here. I'm going to click this, divide it by 2. So I did it this way. That way, if we want to change the size of this, we can just change our overall dimensions here. And then everything else is going to be, they're still going to be kind of equal sections, equal parts, without having to go in and change each individual dimension to kind of fix that. So, so there's kind of like the outline of our border, and we got our section or our title block, and we got our sections kind of created. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our text for our sections in here. So I'm going to go up to where you see text. And I'm just going to click where do I want my text to be, somewhere here in this section. So then for the size, I'm going to change this to 0.125. And my orientation is going to be left justified, top justified. Yeah, that's good. Then for here, I'm going to put title, and I want these to be all caps, TITLE. And if you want to put like a colon here, well, that looks good. I'm going to click OK. And then you see the little dimension dot there. That's where our text is justified by the top left here. So I can dimension this from this dot to the top here. And I'm going to make that 1/16 of an inch. And then also to the side, 1/16 of an inch. So there's that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in the other text really quick that I want. So I'm going to go up to text here. I'm going to select where I want it to be, generally somewhere here. Again, change this to 0.125. This one's going to be material. Hit OK. I'm going to click here. Make sure that change the size. It's going to be drawn by, like so. Click here. This one's going to be checked by. Click here. This is going to be scale. Just make sure you change the size to 0.125 or whatever you want it to be. I wouldn't get too big with it. Scale. And units. not semicolon, colon. English is not my strong suit. So projects, this one's going to be a projection. Projection. Oh, there. And then the last one here is going to be sheet. All right, so then I'm going to dimension these to the corners like I did here. But to make it easier, what I can do is I'm going to dimension this drawn by here to this line, 1/16. And then this one to this edge, 1/16. From here to this line, 1/16. And then I'm going to use my constraints here. So I'm going to click on this horizontal constraint. I'm going to click this little dot here that you see, the title. I'm going to click this dot here for material, and it moves it up. I can click my horizontal constraint here where it's drawn by, and then hit the dot here for checked by, and it moves it up in the line. And I can use my vertical constraint for this one to this one. That way I don't got to dimension every single one, which is a pain in the tushka. So there's that. Then I need to dimension here to here. That's 1/16. And let's see, I can align vertically this one and this one and move it. Wait, let's try it again. Vertical there, moves it over. Horizontal, this one to this to this again to this one. So those are all in a line there. Then I just need to dimension this 1/16. And then this one from here to here is 1/16. Yeah, there we go. So we have all our text in there, and they're all like 1/16 inches from the corner. All nice and neat. So in this area here, this is where our logo is going to go. So you could put it there, like bring in your image for your logo. Here is where you would bring in your projection symbol. You could either draw it, but I found it easier just to have an image of your projection, third angle projection, just drag it and bring it in there. So I'll show you how to do that. All right, so I will give you a copy of the third angle projection image. So I would go up to image here and just select where you want your image to go. So that's like a general area. So let's say somewhere here. So then I would, this is my third angle projection image here, hit open, and then you can see it's way too big, not a biggie. So I'm gonna hit escape to get out of this. I'm gonna click this image here. And if you kind of zoom in on this bottom left corner, you see where it turns into like an arrow with arrowheads on both directions. You can kind of click there and just kind of drag it inward to kind of scale it smaller and then bring it over like so. I found that the bottom left is the best. It works. If you try to, I guess you could do the corners. Any of the corners works, I guess. But just make sure that you're turned into those double arrows. Otherwise, you're just gonna move it. It's not gonna resize. So I'm just gonna click on it, drag it, just kind of where it fits underneath your projection words. You can either put in the center, make it over to the left. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna plop it in right. I don't know, right about there. So there's that. And then to bring in your logo or your school, your school name or whatever you want to have over here in this kind of big area here. maybe even your work logo, whatever you want to do. But for my students, we're going to enter the TSA competition, so we can't have our school name on here. So we're going to bring in our own self-created logo here. All right, so I'm just going to bring in my logo that I made just for an example. So I'm going to click on image, click where the general area that I want it to put it, somewhere in here. I'm going to click on my Inventor logo, click open, and then I'm just going to move it into place. Resize a little bit. Somewhere like that. All right, so there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save what I have. So I'm going to finish my sketch. And you're going to give it a name here. So what name your title block? So maybe this is B size, T block, whatever you want. I'm going to hit save. And you're going to notice like, oh my gosh, where did it go? It disappeared. You did all that work for nothing. Sorry, you got to start over. No, I'm totally kidding. So if you go under title blocks here, click on the little plus next to it. You can see this is the one that we made here. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to insert and it pops it in for us, right? It pops it in right in the location that we said we want it in the bottom right corner. It's all nice and neat there. So that's kind of the step one of creating our custom made title block. But what we're going to do next is we're going to add some smart text. So it'll kind of automatically put the title in for us, the material, who's drawn, who is the drawing drawn by, the scale, the units, all that good stuff, the sheet number. It'll put all that in there kind of automatically for us. So, oh, one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to show you how to save this template. So to save the template, we're going to go up to where you see File, and then hover over where it says Save As, and you'll see the options pop up over here on the right side. So click on Save Copy As Template, and then just give your template here a name. So I already called mine B-size landscape T block, so you can save it as that or whatever you want to. Just to give you an example, I'm gonna save it as B-size landscape title block, something descriptive where you'll know what it is, and then just click on save, and then you'll have your template saved for you. So again, come back in the next video. We'll do the smart text and we'll complete our awesome custom made title block. All right, hope to see you back. Peace.